In this video, we will look at how to add a quiz activity to your Moodle course. A quiz activity allows you to test students using a variety of question types. To add any resource or activity, turn editing on. Click Add an activity or resource in the section you would like the quiz to appear. Then select Quiz from the activity chooser and click Add. Provide a name for the quiz. This appears as a link on the main course page. Provide a description for the quiz and choose if this displays on the front page of the course. The timing section allows you to select the date and time the quiz is available to students, if there is a time limit, and what to do when the time expires. The options here are: the quiz attempt is submitted automatically with any answers the student has selected. There is a grace period when open attempts can be submitted but no more questions answered, and attempts must be submitted before the time expires or they are not counted. If you have selected a grace period, then set the time in the Submission Grace Period setting. The Grade section allows you to select a grade category if appropriate, set how many attempts are allowed, and which score is added to the gradebook: the highest attempt, the average of all attempts, the first attempt, or the last attempt. The Layout section allows you to configure the question order, either as shown on the edit screen or shuffled randomly. You can choose how many questions appear on each page, or if all questions will appear on the same page. The navigation method can be either free, where students can navigate back to previous pages, or sequential. In the Question Behaviour section, you can choose to shuffle the options within the questions. You can set how questions behave. Options are Adaptive Mode and Adaptive Mode No Penalties. This allows students to have multiple attempts at each question while attempting the quiz. Deferred Feedback is where students must enter an answer to each question before submitting the quiz. Their attempt is then graded and feedback provided. Deferred Feedback with CBM, or Certainty-Based Marking, is where students answer each question and indicate how sure they are that they got the question correct. Immediate Feedback is where the student can submit their response immediately during the quiz attempt and get graded. However, they can only submit one response and cannot change it later. Immediate Feedback with CBM also allows the student to indicate how sure they are that the answer they chose is correct. Interactive Mode allows the student to submit an answer. For incorrect answers, students receive feedback and are provided with a Try Again button if they would like to try a new response for fewer marks. Once the student has the question right, they can no longer change their response. If the student got the question wrong too many times, they are graded incorrect or partially correct and are shown the feedback. They can no longer change their answer. With certainty-based marking, the score is adjusted depending on how sure the student was when they chose the answer they selected. Each attempt builds on the last is where a student's previous attempt's answers are filled in for them to leave or adjust. The review options control the information students are shown when they review a quiz attempt. During the attempt, settings are only relevant for some behaviours, like interactive, which may display feedback during the attempt. Immediately after the attempt displays the information for the first 2 minutes after the quiz is submitted. Later, while the quiz is still open, applies after the first 2 minutes but before the quiz close date. And after the quiz is closed, applies after the quiz close date has passed, as set above. If the quiz does not have a close date, this state is never reached. The Appearance section allows you to set if the user's picture is displayed as either a small or large photo. This is useful where the quiz activity is being used in an exam setting. You can set the number of decimal places in the grades and for each question's mark, and if the normal course blocks are displayed when the quiz is being attempted. The Extra Restrictions on Attempts section allows you to configure a password, a network address or range of addresses, and enforce a delay between the first and second attempts, as well as any later attempts. If the browser security is set to full screen pop-up with some JavaScript security, the attempt opens in a new window with no navigation controls. Students are prevented, as far as possible, from using functions like copy and paste. Overall feedback is text that is shown after the quiz has been attempted. By specifying additional grade boundaries as a percentage or as a number, the text shown can depend on the grade received. The Common Module settings allow you to choose if the quiz is shown or hidden when saved, has a field for you to add an ID number, which is used within the gradebook, and allows you to configure a group mode, which allows teachers to sort the attempts by group. The The Restrict Access and Activity Completion sections allow you to configure who is able to see this activity and how completion is calculated if enabled. Don't forget to save changes. Now that the quiz has been created, the next step is to add quiz questions.